Hello, friends. Welcome back to the Rocket Review. I'm Ed.
And I'm Mike in Milwaukee.
And we're doing something kind of exciting for me today.
And me.
Yeah, because this is Balvenie. And Balvenie, the Doublewood, was one of the first good whiskeys I ever had. I spent a long time drinking Old Thompson. And then I discovered the Doublewood, and I lost my mind. Oh my God. It was a revelation to me.
Sure.
But this is not the Doublewood. This is the rum cask finish, the 14-year-old rum cask finish.
I gotta tell you, I went out and I bought this because I got remarried last weekend, and I made this a best man gift to my best man.
It's adorable.
This thing set me back $68, I think it was. But we opened this up, we made some chantilly cream with it, and instead of the vanilla, the Grand Marnier, and the brandy, we added a tablespoon of this, and it was awesome. So,
ooh, yeah, this is cool. Now, Balvenie is it's by the same people who make Glenfiddich, William Grant and Sons, so it's a pretty typical space side. The Doublewood is done in bourbon and ex-sherry casks, and usually you get the honey, you get the light fruitiness. But I do think the rum cask definitely adds something.
Sweetness.
Oh man.
Yeah, I smell sweetness. I smell vanilla.
Now I do get just that funny little hint of. I'm guessing.
I got oaky notes. On this.
Yeah, that kind of oaky note, and it's almost kind of an ashy thing.
And a little lambsy divey.
I don't get that.
Mersey notes and oaky notes. Oaky notes.
I got nothing. I don't know what he's talking about. I hope you guys do.
Just a play on words. We can cut that out.
But yeah, no, I get. You see, with Balvenie,
it's a very pleasant smell.
I think I get the slightest hint of kind of that ashy, kind of an ashy peat kind of thing. I don't know if there's actually peat in here off the top of my head, but I get a little bit of that.
Peat.
I get a little bit like that, kind of that light thing. You know how in that Members Mark video we did, that overpowering like stinky peat.
Yeah.
That's not this, but it has a hint of that. But there's also, you get, I think it smells kind of like licorice, but not like black licorice.
No,
like Twizzlers, like the red cherry Twizzlers.
Kind of a cherry, yeah. Yeah, it's definitely sweet vanilla, some fruit, and oaky notes. Mm-hmm. Here we go.
Oh, that's a good taste. That's a good taste. That
I am picking up the barley on that.
The kind of like toffee, kind of like toffee sweetness, and definitely kind of a interesting molasses thing going on.
Now, I'm a novice, and Eddie knows a lot about whiskey, so I gotta ask him. I think I know, but this is a single malt out of Scotland.
True.
Now, what does that all mean?
So,
for those playing at home, here we go.
All right. So, Scotch Whisky is it's got to be made in Scotland.
Okay.
Single malt means that they took the barley, which they made it all out of barley, which they malted. Now, when you malt something, you're taking the seeds, you're getting them a little bit wet so that they start to germinate, and it turns all the starch in there and sugar. And the sugar is what your yeast eats and poops out alcohol. Right. And so that's fermentation, right? So you take malted barley, yeast eats up the sugar, poops out alcohol, and then you distill that. So you run it through a big old pot still. So single malt is from one distillery, all malted barley, all run through a pot still.
Nice.
Now the cool thing about these guys, Balvenie, is that they're actually still doing a lot of traditional stuff. So they have a cooper on site to work their barrels. I believe they're still doing their malting by hand even, which I believe it even says on here. It grows its own barley and still malts in its own traditional floor maltings. So you actually got guys out there raking and flipping over the barley as it's malting. And then the reason you get peat in Scotch is because after you've gotten the thing growing a little bit to start turning the starch into sugar, you got to heat it up just a little to make it stop. Because otherwise it starts to eat the sugar. Sure. And you don't want that. Right. You don't want that. Yeah, because you want that sugar to turn into alcohol.
Right.
Yeah.
I love yeast.
So, and there is one thing I did want to talk about with Scotch, which I think is something of a misconception. People seem to think that you can't age Scotch in virgin oak casks. Now, virgin oak meaning there hasn't been any other spirits in it.
Okay.
Most of the distilleries do use used casks, so something that's either had bourbon in it, or sherry, or some kind of wine. But that's not required.
Or in this case, finished in
Rum.
cask.
Point being, though, there are whiskeys that just use virgin oak. Kind of like bourbon. Bourbon, you have to use new, unused oak. Like Benromic Organic uses virgin oak. There's an Octomore that uses virgin oak. So there's a Tomatin Legacy, which is Dulcas in America. They all use virgin oak. So most people are using used oak, but you don't have to.
Who knew?
Yeah, well, somebody did. Somebody did.
Glad
I really like the legal stuff around whiskey. I will go in and I will read the legal papers for each country's whiskey definitions. I do.
That's
I
cool.
do.
I just like to drink it.
Because I'm a massive nerd.
Right. And like I said, I bought this for Eddie because not only it was, for him for being best man at my wedding, but also because it's finished in rum casks, and we did Fire and Cane last week, also finished in rum casks, which is very similar, but I wanted to compare. And
Yeah.
I think I like this one better.
Do you?
I think I do.
Oh, I disagree. I love the big peaty taste mixed with the rum cask. This is still very light and honeyed and sweet.
It's got a good essence. It's got good taste. It's got good finish. No burn.
But I like the punch. I like the punch of the peat. I like that clash of styles.
Peat's good.
Yeah, but Balvenie, would you like to add a little water to it?
I would love to.
All right, let's see what a tiny bit of water does.
And here we go. And what are we doing with water, Eddie?
So the idea with water is that sometimes, depending on the whiskey, not all of them, but some of them, they open up a little bit with water, and that depending on the whiskey. And my theory is, in which I've heard, correct me if I'm wrong, is that it depends on the oils. And the water will break up the oils a little bit, and some new flavors will come out. But again, that also depends on what proof you get the whiskey at, what kind it is. Is it already really light on flavor? So I'm not smelling a whole lot of difference.
It dampens it a little bit, but not much.
For the most part, yeah, it just kind of smells the same. Yeah.
Still tastes great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tastes like more.
I still get that kind of sweet candy thing, the honey, little that oak. But I see on the nose, I'm still getting just that hint of like spicy kind of peatiness. Again, I don't know if that comes from peat or if it's something else, but not on the taste. The taste is all sweet and lovely and just kind of warm and embracing.
Awesome.
Yeah. So
thank you for joining us tonight.
Yeah, Rock Out Review, like, comment, subscribe, do all that bull crap, because
and enjoy this one.
And go get some Balvenie.